What is SPIDL? Well, Section on Public Interest and Development Law. Well, that's all about it. And now, as a gathering of some of Nigeria's best public interest lawyers under the aegis of Section on Public Interest and Development Law, beats up in Ibadan, Oyo State, southwest of Nigeria. For more about this conference, which starts this week on Sunday, and what it intends to accomplish within the ongoing grand scheme of things, we're now being joined by Monday Onyekachi Ubani, former chairman of Ikeja branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, former national vice president of the Nigerian Bar Association, and chairman of the Conference Planning Committee of SPIDL 2021. He's also the founder of Onyekachi Ubani Foundation. Welcome to the program. Monday Ubani, good to have you on the morning show.
Thank you, Dr. Ruben.
Thank you. Well, very quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ruben, for having me.
Thank you. Well, tell us a little bit more about this SPIDL 2021, the conference organized by the Section on Public Interest and Development Law, scheduled for Ibadan, starting from this weekend. And then quickly, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a big conference. You have like about 60 speakers, and the participants are supposed to be in a Jogo Center in Ibadan. What measures will you take, or have you taken, to make sure that that conference is COVID compliant?
Yeah, thank you once again for having me. As you rightly pointed out, this weekend we'll be gathering an array of certified speakers in Ibadan to talk on issue of the role of public interest in governance. That is the central theme. And there are some sub-themes we have also assembled. The issue of true federalism, panacea for national development, the issue of state of insecurity, which has actually led some of the regions now to come up with a regional vigilante. We have brought some governors who will actually speak on that issue, on issue of regional vigilante. We also want to look at building strong institutions, specifically on the financial autonomy, which is the sing-song recently going on for the judiciary and even for the parliament. We want them to be financially autonomous. We look at it. There are other issues like when the state truly defends. We'll be looking at the Office of the Public Defender, which is an example of what Lagos State is doing in terms of providing free legal access to the members of the public. There will be a showcase on that particular agency of Lagos State, and so many other issues. And so to specifically answer your question as to issue of COVID compliance, the hall itself we take up to 3,000 conferees at a time. And the people that are attending that conference is less than half of that population. We ensure that they're half of that population. And then there will be adequate spacing. They will, of course, put on their face mask, which we're providing free to all conferees. So there is going to be hand sanitizers that will be made available to every conferee who comes into the conference. So every adequate arrangement is made to ensure that there is due compliance with the COVID protocols rolled out by the federal government, and then there won't be any issue with that. And of course, as I said earlier, it's also a hybrid. It's a hybrid conference. There is going to be people that will come physically, and most of the personnel that will be speaking, officers that will be speaking to us, have agreed to do it by virtual. Some of them will be speaking from Canada, some from United States of America, and some from UK. They have agreed that they will do it virtually. So it is a hybrid conference. And as I said earlier, we have taken time to ensure that we duly comply with the provisions of the protocol of COVID-19. We are careful to ensure that there is that due compliance.
Right. You're really touching on such a broad range of issues here. You also are going to have sessions on sustainable development goals, even paternity fraud, but none on the buzzword of the moment. You're not discussing, well, according to your agenda that's been publicized, secession or devolution or constitutional review. I mean, your internal security agenda covers constitutional review to an extent because, like you said, you're talking about the regional steps I've been taking and the vigilante groups as you've described them. But why is it that you haven't addressed those hot-button topics?
I didn't hear the last question. Why is it that we didn't do what? Sorry.
Address the hot-button topics according to the agendas that have been published so far.
I don't know. This particular microphone is not a bit louder.
I'll repeat the question, sir.
Why is it that we have not
addressed the hot-button topics of constitutional review, restructuring, devolution of powers, and secession from a legal perspective?
Yes. Yes, as I didn't get it, but let me answer this. Because I heard about the issue of constitutional amendment. The Senate recently rolled out a program that they will soon embark on issue of amendment of the Constitution. I think they're starting from Enugu on the 25th of this month. A personality like Senator Ekwere Mado, who was once the chairman of the Constitutional Amendment Committee, is going to be in that conference. And part of the issue he will address is the issue of the challenges and prospect of a constitutional amendment, because we need to actually address it in a manner to know why the previous constitutional amendment failed. After they have amended the Constitution, it was never signed. This time around, what is the possibility that after all the money we waste on embarking on constitutional amendment, that is going to be signed into law? And then the necessary amendment that Nigerians are seeking for that has to do with the restructuring of the federation. Of course, you are aware that the 17 governors of the southern state came together, and they are demanding that there should be a proper restructuring for proper governance, that Nigerians are not getting dividends of democracy. And because we have not properly restructured the federation, we are having the spate of insecurity. Some of the economic issues we are having in the country came as a result of the fact that we are running a flawed system. We are running a unitary system instead of running a federal system of government that our own situations demand. And so these are issues that we're going to ask some of the persons we're inviting. Somebody like Senator Baribe is going to be also a personality that have been invited. A Supreme Court justice is going to give us a keynote address, and he has also confirmed his attendance. So it's issue of agenda setting. This particular conference is like an agenda setting conference that will address a wide range of issues that have been bothering on this particular country. Of course, you and I know that Nigeria is clearly sick, but we need a particular and practical solution. And that particular solution can only come by people who are philosopher king, who will decipher prognosis carried out and proper prescription as to a good health that this country demands so that we can move forward. We have everything that this country is supposed to have in terms of natural resources, human resource, all over. But we have not been able to assemble the kind of leadership in our recruitment process in order to fix this country. And now we're saying, can we begin to really set an agenda for those who are in governance on the right thing to be done for this particular nation? Because we cannot be in this manner. Every year we keep on crawling while other nations are moving forward. So the issue of prescription is very key, because we are a sick nation. Nigeria is not working. It's only working for a few minority. And it's important we emphasize that. But Nigeria can work for a majority. It can work for everyone. But the right prescription is what we are trying to set as an agenda in this particular conference that is taking place in Ibadan. And as I said earlier, so many array of certified speakers have actually indicated their intention to be in that conference. People like Femi Falanas of this world, the Mike Ezekomes of this world, the Aisha Yusufs of this world, even the vice president was invited, and even the Senate president and the speaker also, they are invited. We have the judiciary, we have the executive, and we have the legislative arm all coming together to examine the role of public interest in governance. It's the issue of absence of the public interest that has made us to be where we are, because the interest of the public has never been taken in formulation of public policy and even in execution. But this time around, we want to drive it home that it is about the people's interest. And the moment you remove people in governance, then there's going to be a problem.
How can you deepen public interest in government in a society where there is no trust?
Now, the issue of trust comes in as a very veritable tool for people also to give their best, because it requires leadership and the followership to make a country, a complete country. And so that trust can only come when leaders begin to do certain things that make the people to feel, oh, they are doing it in their interest. And that's what we're saying, that we must first of all develop, the interest of the people in whatever policy formulation and governance we're embarking upon. It is when the people see that you are truthful to them, you are running government of transparency, that you are running government of accountability, then they will, of course, repose confidence in you. But the moment you get in there, and there is clearly no sign that you care for them, whatever you are doing is about yourself, about your family and all that, of course, you lose the trust of the people. So the issue of mutual confidence is key, but that confidence can only come when the government that are in power, people that are in power, will do certain things that takes people into consideration. Bible says that when the righteous is upon the throne, the people rejoice. The people can only give their trust to you when they have seen that whatever you are doing as a government is clearly in their interest. We had somebody like Marowa, who was once a governor. He's from the north. He governed Lagos State. We remember what he did as a governor. We have had military rulers who have carried out their own responsibility in the various states as governors then, as administrators, and we saw what they did. We have also, under this new dispensation, under this democracy, have some governors that have shown some level of understanding of governance, and people have always, responded to it. Of course, if you remember Fashola, who was governor of Lagos State, when it became apparent that they didn't want to give him the ticket for this for his second tenure, we saw how Lagosians reacted. It was the pressure of Lagosians that actually made the powers that be to ensure that he came back as a governor second. So it's the issue of governance, taking into consideration the people. The moment the people discover that you are running governance because of them, they will actually naturally give you that confidence. So that confidence can only come by people who are in power, making sure that the people are taken into consideration in proper governance.
Well, I guess the spirit of the Constitution is that governance should be about the people, about the public good, about the public interest, about the common good. But we hold many of these conferences, and then at the end of the day, there will be a communique. What is the guarantee that the politicians who are in charge of governance, the civil servants, and all the other stakeholders in that arena would even take a look at the communique or the recommendations? For how many years now have we been holding conferences, workshops, all of that, and it's like public opinion, public interest do not matter. I know Speedel has just, it's a revived section of the NBA, so at the level of achievement, that's fine that you are having this event. But what is the guarantee that, those recommendations will have any effect whatsoever on a larger scale? But we'll need to take a short break. When we return, then you'll have a chance to respond to that poser. We'll be right back. Just stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guest is still Monday Onyekachi Ubani, former chairman of Ikeja branch of Nigerian Bar Association, former national vice president of the Nigerian Bar Association, and chairman of the Conference Planning Committee of Speedel 2021. Well, Monday, I had asked you before we went on break, all these conferences, workshops that we hold about public interest and other issues, to what end? What is the guarantee that the people we want to address would even be willing to listen beyond the issuance of communique?
Yeah. Yes, Doctor, we are not ignorant of the fact that over time, conferences have been held in this country, and after which communique, you issue communique, and then the people will not listen, they will not even implement. But what makes this particular conference a bit more unique is the assemblage of the major stakeholders to also come and let us judge joy instead of war. No one is happy with what is actually playing out today for us as a nation. Virtually all the critical sectors are clearly decaying. And so it's important we find a solution to this country. We don't have any other country other than this country. And every hand must be on deck in order to critically examine the problems that this country have and try to profile practical solution. And then there should be implementation. And so bringing the critical stakeholders together for this particular conference, to me is what makes it very unique. Sometimes people assemble and talk, And most of these critical stakeholders are not invited, are not involved. As I said earlier, we have invited the head of the judiciary, we have invited the head of the executive, we also have invited the head of the legislature. And most of them have confirmed to even be a participant. Most of the solutions we even want to hear from them is they are in government now. We don't want a situation where people are no longer in government and they begin to profile solutions. You are not in government. And these are critical things that are affecting Nigeria. How do we sort it out? So it's a mixture of both those who are in government and those who are outside government. So it's going to be clearly a festival of ideas, you know, of where we are as a nation. Today, we are not happy. We are not happy with the state of insecurity. We are not happy with our electoral system. We are not happy with the constitution itself. We are not happy with, so many issues. And we have arranged all those topics so that those who are in government will come and tell us what are their challenges. And those outside government will also probably, say certain things that they want to say. So it's going to be clearly a marriage of those in government and outside government. And I believe that it's not going to be a talk show as usual, because getting involved, those who are critical stakeholders, goes a long way in ensuring that there will be a due implementation. We must also follow up, not only probably issuing a communique and then sitting down. We must follow up that these particular recommendations, what we have arrived at as a proposal, must be implemented. The constitutional amendment process is starting very soon. As I said earlier, we are bringing a major stakeholder in that assignment. Come and tell us what are the prospects and what are the challenges on the issue of constitutional amendment. Are we going to have a local government that is going to be autonomous? Now we are talking about restructuring. Can't we restructure the local government for efficiency? Dr. Ruben, you and I must agree that if our local government are allowed to operate and ensure security at the local government level, 774 local government or 773 local government are safe, then Nigeria will be safe. But these local government chairmen are not allowed to, because there is what they call undue interference of the allocation that comes to them monthly by the state governor. So why can't we allow proper functionality of a local government administration so that we can get a country that is running? Because by the time you have security at the local government level, then of course Nigeria as a whole will be a safe country. So these are issues we want these stakeholders to come and tell us. 3 governors have indicated interest to come. The governor of Ondo State, Alakori, will be there. The senior advocate of Nigeria is going to be there. Then Bala Mohammed of Bauchi has indicated interest to be in that particular conference. And of course, His Excellency Sheyi Makinde, who is actually the host, who is doing a lot to ensure that this conference becomes a success, is also a governor that's going to be there, with all of them at the executive, with all of them at the legislative, with all of them at the judicial sector coming in. I think it's not going to be the normal talk show, my brother.
We're supposed to go to Kaduna, but before then, just go ahead. Yes.
I wanted to ask you, without giving too much away, because, you have to save it for the conference, but what is the role of public interest in governance? Because we all know the role of public interest throughout the campaigns up until the day you cast your ballots. And then it just seems that the public is largely jettisoned and our thoughts, our feelings are not taken into consideration during the actual process of governance.
I don't even know why I'm having issue hearing from your own side. When Dr. Ruben speaks, when I don't know why I don't hear you. So please, can you,
do you want to help
so
me?
I can't, can you be a bit, Doctor, can you help with that question? Because I hear you loud and clear, and I also hear from Mr.
She was asking you a question about the theme, yes, why public interest is so important in the governance process.
Yes.
She was saying, well, but although it will be like jumping the gun, because that's the main issue that will be discussed, yes. I hope I got that.
Yeah,
right.
that is the issue.
Thank
you. Yes. Yeah, we are. Thank you. I heard it loud and clear. So the issue is, governance is about the people. If you look at even our constitution, it's about the security of life. It's about the welfare. The moment the people are not put into consideration by major stakeholders who are in governance, then there is no governance. Because it's a social contract. It's a social contract between the people and those who are elected. Oh, all of us cannot be in government. Oh, we're electing these people who are the philosopher king in order to go and articulate what our needs are and then begin to satisfy our yearnings and aspirations. So it must be about people. It's not about self. And if you look at developed nations, actually, what do? They sit down and begin to plan for generations born and unborn. I have been to a particular place in UK where for the government at that particular local government have already planned how many people will come up in that environment in 30 years' time. And then in planning for those people that will come up in that environment in 30 years' time, they have now begun to put in place all the basic infrastructures, all the things that will make joy, that will bring joy and happiness to the people that will be there in 30 years' time. That's how countries are supposed to be planned. You plan about the interest of the people. It's about the interest of the people. The moment the people is taken out of governance, then there is no governance. What we have there is people who are probably criminals running an administration. But where the interest of the people comes in, I can assure you that the people will be happy. They will give you the issue of confidence that require to carry out. They also give you the support. Look at what is happening with Nigerian police now, where Nigerian police authority have become a target and all that. The people supposed to give information because those criminals live amongst us. Oh, these are the people doing this. Police people are having problem, getting information as to those that are behind the killing. In my state now, virtually on daily basis now, we hear about police station being attacked and policemen being killed. Policemen in Abia now do not wear uniform because of the state of insecurity there, because they have become a target. Now, but the people who know these people supposed to give information to the Nigerian police authority, those that are behind it, so that they can get them arrested. So this issue of confidence is key. So it is important, we keep on saying it, that our leaders must take people into consideration. The moment the people are taken into consideration, you won't have any problem. They will give you all their support. You can be eating, but as long as you eat and you make sure that they also eat, then everyone will sleep. But the moment you eat alone, then of course you can't close your two eyes, because the people are awake.
Well, how do our people say it? They say when you eat alone, you die alone. I don't know whether
you die alone. That's correct.
We have just a minute to go.
I mean, yeah, many insights. But real quickly, you've been talking about some of the speakers. What are panel sessions that people should look up to for the conference? That will be exciting. One or two panel sessions that you think will be hugely breakout.
Yes. Yes, like the one, when we went to see the governor, he was talking about true federalism, which is clearly a panacea for development. And we now say, that is a fantastic one. We brought the topic and say he's going to be a speaker. His Attorney General will be a speaker there. Let people hear, about this issue of true federalism, what constitutes true federalism, and what is it that we're supposed to do that we're not doing as a federal Republic of Nigeria? Why is it that between 1963 and 1966 that was the country?
On that note,
almost all the regions.
Ubani,
yes.
We'd like to thank you very much for joining us, yes. And we wish you all the best with Speedel 2021. Thank you very much.